इससे समझाओ।
विन ग्रिप टेक्नोलॉजी कुछ इस तरह सीमेंट को ग्रिप करता है बिल्कुल टाइट।
SRMB TMT चैंपियंस की पसंद।
Hi everyone, this is Norman Koshnek here for Extra Time once again on our 17th game of the series, the actual IPL series. We're here with some very special guests for the game, a preview of the game between, of course, Punjab Kings and Mumbai Indians. Now, Mumbai Indians in particular has a particular reference to today's program. We are very lucky, we're very fortunate to have as one of our guests Mr. Kuz Jansen, who happens to be the father of Marco Jansen, who was a part of the Mumbai Indians lineup. Also, I believe his other son, his twin brother of Marco, is actually Duan Jansen, is also a part of the team involved in the parts of training and the like, getting a lot of exposure to the IPL, which is absolutely fantastic. And we'll talk about that more very shortly. Welcome, Mr. Jansen. Kuz, how are you?
Thanks a lot, everybody. I'm very well and very privileged for you to having me on the show.
Certainly is our pleasure. I'm also joined by Siddharth Vishwanathan, who's actually here, one of the senior journalists, I call it, in the world, not just India. Fabulous. Looking a bit unshaven because of the COVID. He's blaming COVID. I'm not sure whether we should blame COVID, but that's all right. And we also have Jaideep Singh, who's representing the Bharat Army. Welcome to you both, Siddharth and Jaideep.
Pleasure.
And we're very fortunate. Jaideep also represents the Bharat Army, which is one of the forces to be reckoned with in terms of fans around the world. A multi-million numbered group of fans in all countries. So we started British Asia, as they call it. They certainly have a great backing all over the world. No matter where you are, there's a Bharat Army member. I'm sure there's plenty in South Africa as well. So welcome, guys. We're in for a rather interesting match. I think both Punjab Kings and certainly Mumbai Indians, they both have a lot to play for. Punjab Kings in particular, if they lose this match, they could be heading further south on the competition ladder. They probably will be languishing in 7th or 8th spot. Mumbai Indians, surprisingly, are 4th at the moment, having had a fairly mixed start to the competition, and I'm sure they're looking to win as well. But I'm pretty sure, Kuz, I think your son Marco Jansen, if he gets his opportunity, will make a big impact. So I'd like to direct some questions towards Mr. Jansen to start with. Kuz, I'd like to talk to you more about your amazing family. You've got 2 dynamic twins as sons that are both leading the way in the IPL. Marco is certainly there now. His story is a fairy tale. Debasas, as you know, introduced the whole discussion around how, in fact, the Kuz Jansen, actually, his sons played in Johannesburg. In fact, they were in the nets, I believe, bowling to the likes of Virat Kohli, and the impact of their bowling, their net bowling efforts were beyond anything we could imagine, and hence the impact they are now in the limelight playing for the Mumbai Indians on the IPL stage. You couldn't get a better stage. It looks like we may have lost Kuz for the moment. We'll hold that conversation. But again, we're very privileged to have Kuz Jansen here, the father of both Marco Jansen, who was in the Mumbai Indians lineup. In fact, Siddharth, do you expect Marco Jansen to play today?
I didn't expect him to be dropped, honestly. I mean, Why would you drop someone who at least kept AB de Villiers quiet? None of the other bowlers in the entire teams that they have played, no one has kept AB de Villiers quiet. In the death overs, that too. Why would you get someone else? Why would you drop Jansen for an undercooked Adam Milne? Milne has been plagued with injuries. He didn't come that much. So it's a real big problem. I think they should stick with Marco. I think if they don't get him in, that number 8 position could be more problematic for Mumbai Indians in the coming days.
He certainly looked like he was in form too, Marco Jansen. So we'll get his father to come. Obviously, his father's connections a bit unfortunate. He's coming all the way from South Africa, of course. I'm sure he'll rejoin very shortly. So in the interim, though, he's back. This could be interesting.
Yeah, he's back.
Hello, guys. Sorry about that. I think we've got a signal or streaming problem over here. I couldn't hear what the question was.
That's fine. I'll ask it again. So, Kuz, you're very blessed to have 2 sons, in fact, twin sons that are actually both in the mix, and certainly Marco Jansen, having had the fairy tale of being discovered in Johannesburg and that net session on that great day. You were there as well. You saw your son bowling
Yes.
to the likes of a Virat Kohli. We're going to get you to share that story, how that happened, and a lot about the history of the two boys, how they came through the ranks to be where they are now. And obviously, Marco Jensen, your son, is on the big stage, probably the biggest stage in the world for T20 cricket, the IPL, playing for the team that have won the last 2 years. Amazing start to his career. What a dream, what a fantasy to be able to have that. Tell us more about how that all happened, Kuz.
Yeah, it's still a bit of a fairy tale and a dream going on and playing itself out, because none of us was ever even dreaming for Marco or Duan to be part of the IPL, such an amazing tournament. And there was a guy there, one of the reporters, that after they saw Marco and Duan bowl to the Indian squad there in 2017, he came to me. Sorry about that. He came to me and he told me, I promise you, Father, that within 4 years, these two boys will both be part of the Indian Premier League. And I said to him, no, that's a bit far-fetched. I really don't think they will be part of that, because to get to where they are today, they've got to go through the ranks and got to go through the system and first play franchise cricket and wherever their road is leading up to. And now we're sitting here within 3 years of that day, and they already both part of the Indian Premier League. To answer the other part of your question, we are from South Africa. We, both the boys grew up in a rural area called Klerksdorp. It's about an hour and a half's drive from Johannesburg. And from a small age, these two boys, they were very talented, and they play cricket in the backyard, they play golf, they play rugby, everything that's ball related, they were attached to that. So from an early age, I saw some talent in them. I bought them a little stick, golf stick, and they was just natural how they stroked the ball and just play in the backyard with a plastic golf stick. And I introduced them to the game of cricket, and they were still at the age of about 10, 11 years of age, and they started playing this schoolboy cricket or the.
Oops.
Scored 164 runs. So at that stage, I really realized that for a young boy of his age to concentrate for 20 overs and scored 164 runs, there was really talented within the two boys. Duan came in at number runs were not out. So that's a bit of history from my side.
Fantastic. So Marco and Duan played together a lot, both in the backyard, played several sports. Hello. Yeah, can you hear me? Kuz, can you hear us? We're going to have some difficulties, I think, with this line. But as what Mr. Jensen, I'm here, we're here. Okay. It looks like South Africa we're going to have some problems, but we heard some great things about the way they played all sorts of sports. They were exposed from a very young age, they had a natural talent. It's very often the case that when you have brothers, that you tend to both challenge each other and bring the best out of each other, which is evident here. Kuz, you're back.
Yes, I'm back again. I don't know what everybody overheard what I was telling you about. but I lost the signal again. I'm back.
We
So
heard quite
I
a bit
was.
of it, actually. We heard quite a
Is
bit
it?
of it. We heard all about
All
the
right.
way. So continue. Tell us about their actual. They've now learned how to play cricket. Where did they start? Who do they play for? A bit about their rise to and how they came to be net bowlers against those players in Johannesburg.
Yeah, as I explained, they started playing out for age group higher than they were at that point in time. So I think they were at the age group of under 10s. Then they played for the 11s, and they were playing for the school. And Marco was scoring 164 runs in a game, a 20 over game, and he opened the batting. And Duan joined him after about 4 or 5 overs, and he scored 80 runs not out. So from that that point in time, I realized that they really got quite a big talent within themselves, and I encouraged them to carry on with what they are doing. And we usually went to the nets, and I throw the ball to them, and they practice very hard. They were very dedicated. But at the end of that year, they play the trials for the provincial squads, and both of them got picked for the Northwest region that they were at school in. And they went to the nationals, and they played from that time on, from under 10 age group under 10 up until 13 with primary school. They played for the Northwest province.
Excellent, excellent. So ultimately, they started off as batters, but they ended up being bowlers. In Marco Jensen's case, I think his batting's pushed aside for his bowling.
Yeah, he didn't play well in those first two games with a bat, but they were both of them are the same type of cricketers. They are left-hand bowlers, and they bat right-handed. So for them to compete in these circumstances, or in the South African cricketing Protea squad, I don't think there will be ever a game that they will play together, because they got the same spot occupied and there's only place for one of them. So Marco was very lucky to be handed the opportunity to tour Pakistan, and under 19 he was picked for the South African Protea squad. And Duan, he's taking the longer route, but he's pretty well on his way, and he's doing extremely well, and with his bowling and batting. But both of them are bowling all-rounders.
So run us through the day. It was in Johannesburg where they got the opportunity to bowl to the likes of Kohli. Tell us about that.
Yeah. Day. What an experience. We were actually on holiday after one of the tournaments, the provincial tournaments, and we got a call up from the provincial coach at the Northwest province, and he asked if the boys are keen to go and bowl for the Indian squad that were touring in South Africa. And they, at that point in time, they were situated in Johannesburg. And I told the boys about it, and they were extremely excited just to see their heroes, Virat Kohli and the boys, and Rohit Sharma and Shikhar Dhawan, and all those blokes were touring at that point in time. So that previous night they couldn't sleep. They were awake the whole night, and they couldn't wait to get to the field. And it was a strange, funny story. When they got there, they were so excited, and they get their boots and their gear on, and they
That's all right. They'll come back.
Till they. Hello.
Yeah, Cruz. It cut at the wrong time. You're back.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
All right, I will carry on. And when they got there, it was about an hour's time that all the other guys, all the other boys were be able to bowl to the Indian guys. And when the net session was almost over, then Virat Kohli came into the nets, and he asked, he wants left-hand bowlers to bowl to him. He want to practice that. And they were just sitting there at the side and check all the other bowlers. And as soon as they started, Ravi Shastri asked them to warm up and have a net session with Virat. And as soon as they started to bowl to Virat, then everybody else in the squad and from the little boys, their eyes were lit up with these two boys that were bowling to Virat Kohli. So that was something else to experience as a dad from the side and see how my boys are doing against these superstars. And after the session, Ravi Shastri asked us if we could be at the net session again the next day. So they were over the moon to hear that they were part of the next day's session as well.
Amazing, amazing, amazing story. I can imagine the exhilaration. I've had a bit to do with that in Australia, with young bowlers get a chance to the nets to bowl to the likes of Virat Kohli. It's a monumental moment, and it's career changing, as we see. So from that moment when they bowled the nets to Virat Kohli with the likes of Ravi Shastri supporting that, what happened? How did they go from that to where they are now? That's quite an incredible story. It's only the beginning of the story, what you're saying. There's so much more, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. After they had that second session, you must remember that on the second day when they were invited to bowl to the Indian squad, there were some provincial players, senior provincial players in the system from the Lions side. That's our Johannesburg-based side in South Africa. And they were already bowling to some of the Indians. And when we got there, Ravi Shastri and the other coaches told them to have a seat and let the twins bowl. So none of those guys that were already playing franchise cricket were bowling anymore to the Indians, and both of the twins, they were just bowling. I think it was an hour and a half. And that was really exciting for everybody. There, everything exploded in the media. Everybody was writing about these two boys that were bowling to Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma in the nets, and nobody knew about these two boys up until that and or
The frustrations of the internet.
Absolutely.
That's all right. As you can hear, I can concur with this story because I had lots to do with a lot of the young blokes playing, or actually bowling the nets to the Indians when they were in Australia in 2018 and even 16. And it's a very special time, or 15, I think it may have been, where they were there, and it's a great experience. So I can just imagine Kuz as a father, it would have been a great experience. We're back. Can you hear us, Kuz? I'm not sure that we can. Are you there, Kuz? But yeah, it's something of a great special note. And to see that speak when you're ready, Kuz. Let us hear your voice.
All right, I'm back again. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Yes, I'm back.
Continue, please.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where you overheard what I was saying, but yeah, from the second day in the nets with the Indian team, everybody exploded in the media. Everybody wanted a bit or wanted a conversation or interview with the twins, and all of a sudden, their whole lives have changed because nobody really knew about them in South Africa up until that point because of the publicity they got into the Indian media. So at the end of the day, I think that placed them a little bit on the map, and everybody in South Africa, they were sitting um, up front and took notice about the two boys from a little rural town in Klerksdorp, as I can say it.
So now, a period of time later, Marco's playing for the Mumbai Indians, has played, I think it's 2 games for them at this point, and is very likely to play today. And the team, we're eagerly awaiting the teams as we stand here. And I really appreciate, because is there anything else you'd like to say is there anything else you'd like to add about their journey? Having all that media coverage and then they're on the map all of a sudden and their progression. Who approached them regarding the Mumbai Indians, for example? Was it a part of the auction or was it more arranged prior to the auction? We've lost it, I think. While we're waiting for Kuz to come back on, there is some breaking news, by the way, everyone, that Jofra Archer has been officially ruled out of the IPL 2021. Officially. I think I spoke earlier, Siddharth and Jay, to both our group and other groups. I had no doubt that he would not come. I think the English press releases were certainly saying very cautiously that he's going to come back, etc., etc. Well, not in the time span of IPL. I think the next time we'll see Jofra Archer is in the World Cup, hopefully.
Yep.
And that his chronic elbow injury and his other issues that he has, I think they're going to be there for some time. So it's going to be quite an effort to get him ready again for any form of cricket, let alone IPL. So, Kus, can you hear us now?
No, I think.
That's all right. That's all right. So, yeah, that's quite substantial news. So, what do you think of that, Siddharth? And Jaideep, what's your thoughts on Jofra Archer not playing for your team, in fact, isn't it? It's your team, the Rajasthan Royals. You must be disappointed.
Who's has arrived?
Jaideep.
Yes,
Jaideep, just
back.
ask that question. Sorry, Kus. Well, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, perfect. So tell us, if you can, about the transition from where they were at to Mumbai Indians. Siddharth, what's like?
All right.
I would
All right.
actually like to ask Kuz one thing. I mean,
Yes.
he in his debut game for the IPL, okay, Marco was bowling to AB de Villiers, and now we know how AB de Villiers is. He's a legend. He can play
Yes.
any shot. He's an intimidating factor. But
Yes.
Marco kept him quiet. No other bowler has kept AB de Villiers quiet this IPL. How did Marco
Yes.
do it? And did he have any special conversation with you for that? How do we keep AB quiet?
Yeah, I've watched that. Actually, watched that game. I saw that he was very nervous, and rightfully so. To be in that big stage, he never have played a game in that type of scenario. And the first 2 overs he didn't do that well. But after Rohit and Pollard talked to him and just calm him down, I saw he got his length right. And for AB, he just had to bowl Yorkers on his foot. And then he can't get underneath the ball to hit it all over the place. So I think he bowled perfectly the last 2 overs, especially that one, the over that he kept AB de Villiers intact.
Amazing.
Amazing, indeed.
So
Yes.
just briefly, because their actual announcement of being a part of the Mumbai Indians, can you quickly tell us about that?
Well, it's just some amazing feeling. I started crying when my boy phoned me, and he said that he was being picked for in the auction for the Mumbai Indians. And I every year I follow this amazing tournament, and I couldn't believe that he will be part of the most successful side in this IPL tournament. And for him, just to be part of the squad is an amazing, and a very big privilege. And we never thought that he would even play one game for the Mumbai Indians within this 2021 IPL season. And for him to be picked for the first game, I think Rohit Sharma saw something, some talent when they had that net sessions before the first game. It was just an amazing experience.
You must be a very proud father, and I'm very excited for you.
Certainly.
Very excited for you.
Yes, I'm very proud.
Jadip, do you want to ask a question?
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, sir. Sir, as you previously said, there were a few of the games that the Twins played very well. You said golf, cricket, hockey, rugby. So, what motivated you to get your sons involved into this game of cricket? Because when they were playing all the games good, what was the X factor that you involved your sons into this game of cricket?
Yeah, that's a very good question because they were so talented. They did do at Premier Primary School. They did all the type of sports, and they excel in every one of those sports that they participated in. And they had provincial colors for athletics. They did play rugby extremely well. They both of them went to the Craven Week over here, and Juan got a bronze medal for javelin at the SA tournament in primary school. And they play hockey, and they play tennis, and all sorts of sports. But when they went to the high school, they were still this.
Oh,
That's okay. All right. While we're waiting for Kuz to come back, it looks as though there's been no new caps given out in the pre-match preliminaries. There's nothing changing there, at least as far as new caps are concerned. We aren't aware of the makeup of the teams yet. The shock of Jofra Archer ruled out is certainly going to affect your team. And I just asked you before, JD, quickly before Kuz comes back, what's your thoughts about losing Jofra Archer for good now from your team for this season for the Rajasthan Royals?
I think we are already running out of match winners. Jofra already ruled out, and then Stokesy, Liam Livingston flew back also. So I feel like Jofra Archer ruling out is a big disadvantage to the team. What Jofra provides to the team is very valuable, and can't be estimated what efforts he put in to get team back in from difficult situations. And I think. Once Jofra was ruled out, I thought he might come back. But looking at the COVID cases in India, it was almost impossible for him to be back in the Indian Premier League. But there's no replacement for Jofra Archer, so this is a big loss for us and our team.
Absolutely.
wooden spoon guaranteed. Wooden spoon guaranteed.
The other breaking news, just quickly: Punjab Kings have elected to bowl, so they've won the. Punjab Kings have won the toss and have elected to bowl. So we won't see Marco Jensen play. If he's playing first up, it'll be the Punjab Kings that will be bowling first to the Mumbai Indians. The Mumbai Indians will be batting first. That's the decision made. The likes of KL's been speaking. We just lacked a little bit of cricket smartness last time. And I think only a couple more wickets will be in the hunt. The ground looks a little bit damp and Sydney might get easier later on. It's just one change. Ravi Bishnoi comes in for M. Ashwin. So Ravi Bishnoi has been given his place. Why not? Why didn't they do that earlier? It's quite disturbing. So Ravi Bishnoi has come in for M. Ashwin, and we'll wait for the announcement of the Mumbai Indians team as well. Kuz, back to you. So we're waiting with bated breath. Do you have any inside knowledge? Can you let us know whether Marco's playing or not? Can you let out a secret?
He's not even telling me beforehand. Even if he's playing, I'm just excited as you guys are. Yeah, I watch on the television and then I see his name on the 11, the playing 11 or not. But I don't think he will be playing today. I think maybe they will give him a chance again on other quicker pitches.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good point. We are playing a Chennai, probably not suited necessarily to his bowling. Okay. I can tell you the Punjab Kings team just for a moment. We've got Rahul, of course, both captain and wicketkeeper. We've got Agarwal. Gale is in the side. Huda, Puran, Shah Rukh Khan, Mozan Reeks, Fabian Allen, Shami, Bishnoi, and Arshdeep Singh. So, as stated, Bishnoi has come in for M. Ashwin. That's the only change.
Yeah.
A little bit slow on the Mumbai Indians. Maybe they know you're online.
Unchanged.
Unchanged, yeah.
Yeah. But, Koos, you unfortunately, Marco and Duane are playing in very unprecedented times. I mean, 2 years, the coronavirus situation, it's bad even in South Africa. They're in a bubble. I mean, for such a young age, I mean, how are they coping up with the stress of the bio bubble?
Great question.
Yeah, no, the whole world is going through the same pandemic and situation, and I think the bubble situation is having a strain on all the cricketing players and the whole sporting environment. But they keep as they are together at the Mumbai Indians camp. Now at least they can keep each other company and play their normal games. But video games are quite a big thing, and they do like to challenge each other with the video games. And then when they relax, I saw they sent me some photos with them in the swimming pool, and they enjoy the weather over there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's
great.
winter in South Africa, yeah.
Yeah, it's starting to get cold now.
Okay.
But I think the most important thing is that both your sons are together. That's a very pleasant situation. They can share the moment together, the glory of it all. I'm sure you would like to be there too, Chris, wouldn't you? You would love to have been there.
Of course, yes. Who wouldn't be? But I think Duan is very privileged that the Mumbai Indians invited him also to go over without being part of the auction. So
Now, I
that
can read out the Mumbai Indians
extremely
side.
good.
I can read out the Mumbai Indians side for you. It's Quinton de Kock, Rohit Sharma, Suryakumar Yadav, Ishan Kishan, Kiran Pollard, Hardik Pandya, Krunal Pandya, and we've got Jayant Yadav, Rahul Chahar, Trent Bolt, and Jasprit Bumrah. Unfortunately, I can't see Marco Jensen's name in the list. I could have told you he was, but I'm afraid I had to tell you what's actually the case. He's not in the team, but certainly not based on his performances so far. He's more than capably for the position.
Jasprit Bumrah.
Yeah. I think it's like, once again, the tussle. I mean, we see in rugby, the All Blacks and Springboks, the greatest rivalry of all. Bolt is keeping Marco out because left armer. 2 left armers in the same team. I don't think we can have that.
But it's also the pitch. It's the Chennai pitch that probably was the final decision that really decided that. They probably went with a different mix of bowlers. But your son has been given so many plaudits, so many accolades already. He's in for a big career. I'm certain of that. But now it's a matter of now reversing the tide and seeing whether he's going to play for South Africa as well. Because I think South Africa need him. They certainly do. And
I mean, they've never had so many left-arm pacers. I mean, I can think of Brett Schultz, the first one in the 90s, along with Alan Donald. Wow, deadly combination. Then you had Lunwabo Satsobi. I mean, Satsobi wasn't so express pace, but he was accurate. Unfortunately, now banned for all the wrong reasons. But Marco bowling with pace, left arm. I mean, Australia have got such a plethora of them. Stark, Mitchell Johnson, the 2 Mitchells. So that's why getting this guy, and if he gets it in the South African team, he can be that X factor. They never had a left arm pacer. Accurate, hostile. this might be the case.
And it is interesting, though, as well, because it took him to play for the Mumbai Indians to then be discovered for the South African side, which is rather back to front, isn't it?
Yep.
Now, Jardip, your perspective, you've heard the sides, you've heard me announce the sides. What do you think of the makeup of the two teams, considering it's Chennai? What's your thoughts, Jardip?
I think what Kings 11 Punjab lacks in their side is their middle order. Nicholas Pooran consistently not performing is the biggest disadvantage that they are facing at the moment, because Nicholas Pooran, what the management want from him is to backfire at the end when the top order finishes their work. I know KL Rahul and Mayank Agarwal. Mayank Agarwal obviously did very well in the last match, but they want the X factor performance of Nicholas Pooran. He gets in, smashes few runs for his team so that they can reach to a comfortable total. The other thing that I wanted to tell for Kings 11 Punjab Kings is that KL Rahul is trying to build his own innings rather than building his team's innings. He's playing at a strike rate of 100 up till 35 balls, 35 balls, which is wrong in my opinion. He should try to bring in as many runs as he can so that he can keep his team going. The problem that Mumbai Indians is having is also the same. Their middle order is not going very well. The likes of Hardik Pandya and Kieron Pollard not performing is the biggest disadvantage to this team. And I feel when they'll come back in the form, as soon as they come back in form, Hardik Pandya and Kieron Pollard, they'll reach different heights in this season as well.
Very good points. Very good points. I did talk earlier about the fact that I thought KL Rahul should allow Gale and Agarwal to open and put Rahul at a 4-5 position in the batting order to actually take hold of the situation with their middle order. I think they need Rahul to come in a bit later. They can afford. Gale is at his best when he's opening, when he's facing the first delivery of the innings. That's Gale's specialty. Getting him to come in first drop, I've never been comfortable with Gale at first drop, never. So I think that there's a missing link there. They should have, although KL Rahul and Agarwal batted very well together in the previous matches, the reality is the speed of his innings, obviously strike rate, but more importantly, Rahul will be better utilised a bit further down the order, I think, and allow Gale and Agarwal to go. I think they're making a big mistake. What do you think, guys?
Absolutely. I mean, look at Gale's great knocks. Where has he hit them at the top? Rahul's best IPL in 2016 came when he batted at number 3. I mean, he hit the fastest 50 of the IPL batting one down. He didn't open the batting.
So why if it's that obvious to us? Why, if you and I we all three of us can make that decision very easily and without much difficulty, and we all have good cricketing knowledge, how come that's not visible to them? I'm really confused with when you have a batsman who should be opening. Gale is the best opening batsman I've ever seen when in form. He loves the ball coming out of the bat. They may throw spinners in, it doesn't matter. The brand new ball is when Gale's at his best. He loves to hit a brand new ball. He absolutely adores that. And
look at the blueprint. He will see out. I mean, he may have 30 runs or 35 balls in the first 10 overs. But then in the next 10 overs, when he's got his eye in, he'll hit 80 of 20 balls. That is the acceleration that Gale will promise you. But him batting at number 3, just because it worked in IPL 2020, it doesn't mean it will work in these conditions in IPL 2021.
Exactly.
Gale has been superb in India opening. When the ball is fresh, when the ball is new, he will attack. In the UAE, it might have not been the case. But I don't know what's going. I mean, Punjab Kings and Rajasthan Royals, they want to commit harakiri by themselves. They want to shoot themselves in the foot. Or no, they would want the gun to shoot them in the foot. They won't go to the gun. It's really, really true. It's really painful to see this happening. And the other one, and I'm sure Jadip will talk about that as well, Milan. For God's sake, what are they doing? What are they doing? He should be in the side without any doubt. If he's supposedly the best batter in the world in this format, ranking-wise, or close to it, wouldn't he be first picked, or at least be assured of a position? Milan at first drop,
Gale and the likes of Agarwal opening, Rahul down the order with a certain batting shift in the team, that would be a powerhouse team.
And Enrique's at 5. You got your finishing touch also.
I
really
certainly
miffed.
feel I certainly
Go,
feel Malan should be given a chance because he's the number one ranked T20 batsman in the world, as well as he provides strength to the team. What Rahul is doing, he's trying to build up innings. This job should be given to DJ Malan. He can do this very well, very better than KL Rahul, I feel, and KL Rahul should charge up wherever position he bats because he's got a great skill set. He's got a great set of talent. He can bat at anywhere in the batting order. He can provide stability to his team. Also, I feel what Kings 11 Punjab Kings, sorry, are lacking in their bowling is not playing Chris Jordan in their side. He can provide an X factor into this weak side. I feel he should be given chance because as they have tried Riley Meredith and Jay Richardson, they got for runs and didn't perform very well. So I think Chris Jordan should now be awarded with the chance.
I think I slightly respectfully disagree with Jaydeep here for 2 reasons. Number one, Jordan, his confidence has taken a shellacking in 2020. The ability to bowl at the death, the ability to nail the Yorkers, the Chris Jordan of 2018 or 19 might have done it, but not the Chris Jordan of 2020, 2021. I'm sorry.
absolutely.
Nicholas Puran, I mean, sorry, he's got a postcode of a score 0090. That's an ISD code, that's a postal code. By ensuring that you give Puran a long rope, you have already shot yourself in the foot by saying, okay, I think we are not making a comeback here. Okay, unless he proves everyone wrong here with a blistering 80 of 40 balls, it's a different thing. Malan, if he was in the middle order, he would have allowed Rahul to attack. So you've got 3 players who can attack: Agarwal, Gale, and Rahul. Malan can be your shoring up. He can shore up the middle order. He can play with the space. You have Enriques, who can be a good finisher at the death with the bats. And as far as the bowling is concerned, I think Punjab Kings will have to rely upon their Indian bowlers only. They cannot rely on the overseas bowlers because in the auction they screwed it up. 22 crores just on Jai Richardson and Riley Meredith. I'm sorry, you've blown the opportunity right and right there. The same what Rajasthan Royals have done. The same what Rajasthan Royals have done.
So just a point, if Malan was in, you would probably look at either Fabian Allen, perhaps, or Puran being left out. And that's my... And there's, I mean, this is the problem. They'll play today now. They're probably going to, as what happened in the previous match, we all talked highly about a side. In fact, we actually talked about Punjab Kings, didn't we? The previous game, I remember a couple of games ago, we all talked that they would win, and they didn't. The reality is now we're talking up Mumbai Indians. They may flip that. Let's hope that they do. But the reality is they're going to ruin not having Malan on the side. They're going to put him into the next couple of games, I'm sure. But their run will be somewhat too late. This was their opportunity, and they've blown it, I believe, at this stage.
I honestly expected 14 crores or 8 crores, either of those two, for Malan. I expected that. The number one T20 batsman, he's been scoring consistently throughout 2020, 2019, and 2021. His exploits in the Big Bash League are superb.
Absolutely.
But he just went for his base price.
You're absolutely correct, Siddharth. But I feel Malan hasn't done very well in Indian conditions. I think he was not there in India when he was playing well. And when he came to India, he managed to score only a few runs, not according to his own standards. So that's why I think franchisees didn't go for him in the auction, and he was picked at his own base price.
I'm pretty sure you'll see him selected in the next couple of games because they've got no choice. They're going to have to start to do something dramatically if they need to turn this around. Okay. Well, hopefully Kuz comes back online. I'm not sure whether he will. But in the interim, who is going to win this match between Punjab Kings and Mumbai Indians? Siddharth.
Well, the last time Punjab Kings and Mumbai Indians played went to the double super over. Let's hoping that something comes up like that. Because you need some kind of a twist. I mean, to put Mumbai Indians off their track. If they do that, if Punjab Kings do a repeat and defeat Mumbai, because let's not underestimate Punjab Kings. they are only one of the 4 sides to have beaten Mumbai Indians more than 10 times. So they know how to beat the Mumbai Indians. But looking at the team composition, I feel maybe you might have put a foot wrong there. So I guess it's again Mumbai Indians. But as I said, I was proven wrong when Delhi Capitals blew them out of the water. Let's hope Punjab Kings does that in this match.
It actually looks like perhaps the Punjab Kings are trying to emulate what Delhi Capitals did. The fact that they're actually going to bat second, and they hope that the way that the bowling was frail, was the fragility of the bowling.
And Bishnoi, they're hoping Bishnoi has the same effect as Amit Mishra.
Absolutely.
That middle order. If Bishnoi can do what Mishra did, then it's a masterstroke.
Absolutely. They'll get the opportunity early because he's bowling first up, basically. Where will they use Bishnoi? Will they throw him in early? Will they throw in an early over from him?
Yeah.
I think what they can do is, Jaideep, get Allen to open, because Rohit is a very tentative starter against spin, especially in the power play. Get Allen to open, put Bishnoi in the middle stage, because he bowled brilliantly in the middle overs in IPL 2020. He was one of the best with Murugan Ashwin. Get that, some innovative captaincy, perhaps, you don't know, can do it, can experiment. You've got nothing to lose except 4 out of 5.
Well, Jaideep, I'm sure you're going to say what we're going to say. The fact is that Punjab Kings have got nothing to lose because they pretty much have lost everything already. They need to go for broke. They need to take a risk. They need to challenge Mumbai Indians. And by the very fact they won the toss and they elected to bowl, tends to tell me that. Jaideep, what do you think?
Yeah, I think they have nothing to lose. They should play with the free mind. Management should convey this message to all the players. They should play with free mind. Whenever you are batting, whenever you are bowling, and whenever you are fielding, you should play with free mind and try to bring best out of yourself, because there's nothing to lose, as you said. Try to bring best out of yourself, and this is your chance. If you succeed defeating Mumbai Indians, the 5-time champions, you will surely get confidence in your dugout, and the players will think that if we manage to defeat Mumbai Indians, why can't we can defeat other teams? So I think if they perform well today, they can get their lost confidence back.
It'll certainly throw the cat amongst the pigeons if Mumbai lose this, I'll tell you. Okay, Siddharth, can you read that?
Yeah, why MI has removed Chris Lynn. He was looking good against RCB in one game of the season. But again, Quinton, the left-right hand combination, Lynn had to sit out. So you can't. And breaking news, Norman. Perhaps, Jaideep, Rajasthan Royals could get the services of Rassi van der Dussen.
Yeah,
Really?
I've heard that.
Yes, Rassi van der Dussen might play for the Rajasthan Royals.
Where did you hear that? Where's your source?
According to News 24 in South Africa.
Okay.
I think they have left with few slots. They should find a fast overseas bowler as well, because you're not having good fast overseas bowlers. I mean, you have Mustafizur Rahman and Chris Morris is all rounder basically. So I think they should go for a fast bowler, as you have left with few slots. And Rassi van der Dussen is a good pick. He can be X factor if given chance.
Okay, there's a question about why David Malan is not coming due to injury. Otherwise, Punjab Kings will lose the season. I don't think it's injury based. There is talk about the fact they bought him to not allow him to go to another side. I find that incomprehensible. I don't think really any side buys a player for them not to go to another team. That doesn't make. It's truly quite a strange tactic. People say that happens. I don't subscribe to that. I don't believe that. That doesn't make any true sense. But I do think Chris Lynn is, and you mentioned before, Siddharth, about the left-hand, right-hand combination. Do you want my honest opinion? I'm over the discussion left-hand, right-hand batsman. If you've got two good right-hand batsmen, I don't care whether they are, they're not left or right-hand. It doesn't make any difference to me. If they're good batsmen, they should be batting. I've just lost Siddharth. I'm not sure whether he was meant to go somewhere, but I'll have to look there. There's no message to say that. So, Jaideep, we're going to be. So, your thoughts? Who's going to win?
I think Mumbai Indians are surely looking strong on papers, but
Sorry.
as we have seen in the past seasons as well, Punjab Kings have done exceptionally well in difficult matches. So I think they can win if they perform well, but it's very difficult against Mumbai Indians.
Sorry, browser crashed. Sorry.
That's right. You didn't like my question, we thought. That's what Jaydeep and I thought we thought.
Oh, browser crashed.
The reality is, though, both teams have got a lot to lose here. But in particular, Punjab Kings has to approach it as if they've got nothing to lose. They've got to have this freedom in their mind and the way they play. And perhaps the way they've won the toss will help. Mumbai Indians, I seriously think if they lose this match, they're not out of it. They're certainly going to be in the top 4 or thereabouts. But it's going to make it damn hard for them. Because I think the other 3 sides are well on top at the moment. And the very fact that Delhi Capitals broke the shackles and defeated Mumbai Indians is a massive watershed moment for Delhi and unfortunately for Mumbai Indians as well. So I think that's... So Siddharth, who's going to win?
Mumbai Indians, I mean, they will not want to slip up again. Because if they do, then every team then will start, okay, then it's possible. Then they will build momentum upon that. If Mumbai Indians win, then the clear-cut gap is emerging. That you're the top 4, you're the bottom 4. They would not want to slip up because of this situation.
It's an interesting situation. Look, Punjab Kings, yeah, I'm going for Mumbai Indians, obviously. It is obvious. I just don't think Punjab Kings have got their batting order right. I would have had Agarwal and Grail opening. I would have had Milan in. I would have had Rahul in. I would have had the order. Simple. Very simple. Inexcusable. And I'm really wondering what's going on there. I really am.
I mean, before we sign off, Norman, let me just tell you 2 teams, examples. Delhi Capitals. They have an anchor. They have an anchor batsman in case the top order collapses. Who's that anchor batsman? It's either Ajinkya Rahane or Steve Smith. One. Yeah. When did Sunrisers Hyderabad's batting become a bit stable? When Kane Williamson came back.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, Punjab Kings, if Rahul falls, Agarwal falls, Gale falls, Puran falls, who's your anchor? No one. Malan could have been your anchor, but they want to keep him on the bench. Teams which have an anchor batsman, not necessarily a power hitter from the word go, they also succeed. Delhi Capitals have proven that. So have Sunrisers' first match. I mean, only 1 win, but they can do it with Williamson back. Let's see what happens with Punjab Kings. If they don't get Malan in...
Same is the problem with Rajasthan Royals. And even after that, they let go Steve Smith and Ajinkya Rahane.
Let's talk about Rajasthan Royals or Punjab Kings, the better. They will only be remembered for the auction bid, not for their performances in the IPL.
Absolutely. For the disastrous mistakes they made with the auction. Abysmal. Yeah, I must just end. I'll end with a conversation on Moses Henriques. Even though he's an all-rounder, he can bat. He bats for New South Wales up in the top 4 batters. He can bat. He could well be another possibility for an anchor as well. Don't discount Moses Henriques' batting. He is fabulous. He's one of the most prolific run scorers in our state, Sheffield Shield level. And he was actually missed in the very final as well. Yeah. All right. We've got some 4 minutes before the match is starting. We'll answer this question to finish. Sorry, guys. Struggling with signal, but thanks for having me on your show. From Kuz Jansen. That's a lovely moment. The man was amazing. You could hear the excitement in his voice, and the very fact that he's talking about his 2 sons, not just 1 son, but 2 sons, and they're twins. Sounds like the War Brothers a bit, doesn't it? Although different caliber. Bowlers.
Marshall Brothers.
Yeah, you could go on. Just last point. Here's a trivia question. Who is the most capped brothers in the world? Who has the most number of capped brothers in an international side?
Wait, you did ask this question. You did ask this some time back. Oh, God,
Jaideep, you know?
No, I have no idea.
The Ranatungas.
I think India have got 2 only.
Ranatunga there's 4 Ranatungas. Dharmika, Arjuna, Sanjeeva, and Nishanta all played for their country. Amazing. And the 2 brothers that didn't are politicians. Go figure. All right. So, in fact, Arjun is also a politician. All right, 3 minutes to go. Thanks, guys. In particular, thanks to Kuz Jansen for joining us, the father of Marco and Joan Jansen, who are both in the Mumbai Indians makeup. Pity he's not playing today, but we're going to see more of Marco Jansen for sure. And we're going to see more of Siddharth and more of Jaydeep as well. And a little bit more of Norman, just a little bit more of Norman. My crystal ball, last minute, says Mumbai Indians.
Mumbai.
Okay, guys, all the best. Let's enjoy this game. We'll come back.
Thank you.
Show, as always. This is Norman Koshnik for Extra Time. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.